Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm Bob Spitz, your host, with my partner, Tony Whistler.
Hello.
Hello. And today we have a couple of special guests with us. We have Michelle Lee from Peak Auto and Felicia Harris from Auto Data Direct. They're joining us today. Good afternoon, ladies.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, I know. Friday it came again. Hallelujah.
Glad I'm here for another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been having some interesting talks with Michelle over the last week or so. Sorry about the technical glitch last week, Michelle and Felicia. And we weren't able to actually broadcast last week, so we're making up for it this week. But Felicia and Michelle, they have a very interesting service, which is something that I found fascinating because I didn't even know it existed, to help shops when they get vehicles abandoned and left there. So, Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about Peak Auto?
So what we do is those vehicles that your body shops end up with because people don't come and pay their bill. What we provide is a free online auction service for them to sell those vehicles and reach a wider audience, as opposed to just setting your vehicle out in front of your shop with a for sale sign on it, or scrapping it, or parting it, or whatever you're choosing to do with that vehicle. We actually sell that vehicle on an online platform for free. So if the car sells for $5,000, then the body shop gets $5,000. Our fees are paid for by the buyer, so it doesn't impact your body shops at all. And I mean, like, who doesn't like free? So you can put a reserve on
no
it.
be like a freebie.
That's right.
It's a
Now,
win-win. When people look at me and say, we don't really want to do that, I'm like, wait, hold on. So you don't like making money? Let me get this clear.
Selling the car easily, not having to pay anything.
Yeah. I mean, what's your downside? Come on, let's talk this through.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned collision body shops, but you work with other verticals too, don't you?
We do. So we started our business in the towing industry. So our bread and butter is towing industry for their abandoned vehicles. So we're doing that nationwide. We're super active in about 22 states for selling those abandoned vehicles, but we also sell for dealers and scrap yards. So like U-Pullets, we sell vehicles for them, but it's kind of a niche market because we don't sell for the individual. We sell for basically those 3 to 4 entities. So
Right, right.
Like
Now,
when you
you
say
mentioned,
individual, what do you mean? I'm not tracking with that.
So you couldn't just come to us and say, hey, I want to sell my car.
Oh,
If
like
you don't
me.
fall, yeah, if you don't fall into the category of being a dealership, salvage, recycle, body shop, or tow company, then we won't do it for you.
What about a general repair shop?
We will do it for them. Yes.
For like,
So
okay,
there's a reason why we don't sell for the general public, and that's because the buyers that we bring to our platform are kind of used to being able to buy a vehicle from us with like a paperwork packet or a salvage title or a rebuilt title. Like, they're used to those terms. So the normal individual is not necessarily used to those terms. So we want to make sure that they have a clear understanding of what they're purchasing. So we kind of stick to the 4 entities to sell for, so that we don't get bogged down in the weeds with the individual market.
makes sense.
right. Now, let's just walk through it. I'm going to give you a scenario. I've got an auto repair shop. I'm not collision. I'm not towing. I'm auto repair, and I just did a $3,000 repair on a customer's vehicle, and they just flat disappeared. I I don't know where they are. The registration's in the glove box, but I don't have the title. How do you help me? What do I do?
Well, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you know how to process a mechanic's lien
I
in
don't.
your state? You don't. Okay. So So the first thing I'm going to do is direct you to Felicia at Auto Data Direct. And I'm going to kind of guide you in that process of getting a mechanic's lien so that you can obtain a title for that vehicle. One of the first things you're going to need to do is run what we call a NMVIDIS check. So a NMVIDIS is a national title pointer system. So you run the VIN through it, and it's going to provide you with the last state of title. Because just because you have a registration, that's just the tag. That's not going to help you obtain a title for the vehicle. You have to have the actual title information. And a good example of that is I live in Florida. We have a lot of snowbirds that come down and vacation in Florida. They get a tag in Florida, but the vehicle's still titled in New Jersey. So that's a good example of the tag and registration really don't give you the correct information. So you're going to run that. You're going to find out what state it's titled in, and then you're going to run the VIN number in that state to then obtain the most accurate title information so that you can send your lien letters and get your mechanic's lien. And that's kind of where Auto Data Direct comes into play. They have access to real-time records in all 50 states. Not all 50 states will let mechanics and body shops have that information, but that's kind of getting in the weeds.
Well, I would think California is one of them.
It is, but in California, you have to have it's a consignor code. So that is something that can be explained to a California company. And if they're a California company, they're probably pretty aware of that. But ADD can supply that information to them, and they can also give them a way of sending their mechanics letters via certified mail through ADD. So what happens is you run your record, you get your record, and then you're going to need to send your mechanic's lien notice. So ADD is going to allow them to pull in their letter and send it electronically, and it's going to go out.
So that goes to the titled owner.
And the lien holder and insurance company.
Okay, so Citibank is the lien holder on this, and Joe Smith is the title. He owns the car, kind of. Citibank owns it too.
Owns the car, yeah.
Right. So is this where, Felicia, is this where you come in?
Yeah, so essentially we are the conduit that connects you to the information that you need to process the lien. So we're directly integrated into the DMVs that we have contracts with for you to be able to pull the most up-to-date record in real time. Once you have that record, we also facilitate the process of helping you get your lien letters sent out in whatever manner that your state calls for. So some states require it to be certified, some require first-class mail, some require with signature return receipt. So we kind of just assist in doing all the steps to lead up to be able to get the title so that Michelle can actually, and Pete can actually sell and auction the vehicle for you.
Okay. So you're in most states, Felicia?
So currently we have 44 states total. But there are a couple of those, as Michelle said, that don't allow access to body shops or repair facilities at the current time. Colorado being one of those that I can think of off the top of my head. But you're probably looking at around 40 to 42 states that a repair facility would have access to via ADD.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you provide me with the lien? How do I get, you got it? I'm taking the part of an auto shop owner who really knows nothing about this. This is the first time I've been burnt this way. So do you provide the lien letter? How do I get a lien letter?
In some cases we do. For some states we do have, we are aware of what the process is in all 50 states for the mechanics lien process. We don't have all the letters programmed currently, but we do. If you're a customer of ADD, your sales representative will assist you in finding the information that needs to go in that letter. So while we don't do the letter for you and we may not have it programmed, we will assist you in finding the resources that you need to know exactly what steps you've got to take.
So when you say program, does that mean you have a template? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so for a
Okay.
lot of states, we do have that. So for instance, I'm in Texas. We have the Texas Mechanics Lien Letter program so that it auto-populates with the repair facilities information, all the information off of the record that they just pulled. And then all they have to do is upload a copy of their signed repair order to be included in that mail out. The other thing that we have is called a custom letter. So if we don't have the letter programmed in one of the other states, the repair facility can go in and upload the letter that they feel that they created, and they can send that out certified as well. And all of those tracking documents come back into the Auto Data Direct account so that you have this nice, neat little packet that you can print out at the end without having to, jump through a bunch of hoops and wait in line at the post office.
And Bob, if in Bob's case, you would walk him through each of the little details necessary to make it work. So somebody is like he
Yes,
has somebody he's working with,
we're
an
a very,
individual.
yeah, we're a very small company feel, right? We are very one-on-one with our customers, and we have an outstanding customer service department that based here in the United States, and they're available. We pull statutes. We have a government affairs team. I mean, we have a ton of people that we just spend our time trying to help people run their businesses better.
Now, does that lien letter go to the lien holder only or to the registered owner also?
Everyone listed on that record will receive a copy of the letter. So all interests that are identified on the motor vehicle record.
Okay. Because I was just thinking of a scenario where I had no idea that the bank relinquished the title to my car and you guys auctioned it off.
You'll get a letter if you're still listed with the state on the motor vehicle record. You're going to get a letter.
Yeah, I had amnesia or something, and and I come out of it and go, "Where's my car?"
If that happens, I think you deserve a new car at that point. Time to upgrade.
So, Michelle, how do I, as a small shop owner, even find out about you?
Well,
Things like this podcast.
exactly. Or attending the Drive Expo. We're going to be there. We're actually teaching a class that'll kind of go in a little bit more in depth. Yep, that thing right there.
That's right.
So we're going to be teaching a little bit more in-depth class, and the tool that Felicia's talking about where you can send a letter through ADD, we're going to kind of demonstrate that. We are going to demonstrate that in sort of a live tutorial in that class. And then we're going to,
great.
So everyone will kind of get to see an overall broad view of how it works and how easy it is. And then we're going to kind of tell them the things that they need to do to make more money for the vehicles that they sell. Because there are a lot of little pieces of information and things that they can do to make more money for their vehicle. So we're going to kind of cover all of those bases at that class at the show.
Now, that's great. Now, we've been talking about cars, RVs. Does that happen with RVs?
Yes, it does. RVs, boats, side by sides. I mean, if you live in an area where the buggies are a big deal, these guys end up with them from doing work on them. California, Arizona, places like that where that riding in the sandhills is a big thing. They end up with these things after doing work on them, and people don't come and pay for it. So yeah, we sell all of that. Anything that you end up with, you can sell on our website. Now, some things aren't titled, and if it's not a titled vehicle, you can still sell it on our website. You can sell things that don't have a VIN. If you got a homemade trailer, you can sell that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something with a VIN. We have people sell rims and tires. They end up with four wheels, four tires.
Some of them are expensive.
Yes, very. And we have people that will run that through an auction with other vehicles and see if it'll meet reserve, because you can put a reserve on stuff. So those wheels are worth $4,000. They can put a $4,000 reserve on it. So
Yeah.
you never know. Going back to the free part, it's free to put it in. It doesn't cost you anything. If it doesn't sell because it doesn't meet reserve, then that's okay. Our goal is to have it meet reserve and obviously go for more money, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
So it looks like the workshop, sorry, Bob, I just want to mention one thing. I just got a note. It looks like the workshop that you're going to be delivering for Drive is going to be on Thursday, June 20th at 1 p.m. So for all of our Drive clients who are going to come to the expo, if you're interested in listening to these guys amplify on what we're talking about, it'll be at 1 p.m. Thursday, June 20th.
Yeah, don't
Over
miss
to you,
it.
Bob.
Don't miss it. Okay,
Don't miss it.
So I have found out about you some way, somehow, right? As a shop owner, maybe through my trade association. Do you work with the trade associations? Get your name out there? Okay, good.
We do.
Okay. And now Felicia's helped me get the letter out, the mechanics lien out. Okay. And now that's gone out. Now what do I do as a shop owner?
You reach out to me.
Ah.
And I'm going to get that vehicle or vehicles or how many ever vehicles or pieces of machinery or whatever you have. I'm going to get that live on our website. So I'm going to
so I don't have to bring the vehicle somewhere.
You were going to leave it right there at your shop. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you take photos of the vehicle. I'm going to have you upload those to a portal along with a VIN number if it has one. And then we're going to build your auction. And that auction is going to run for a period of 4 to 10 days. It just depends on the area. If it's a new area for us, then we like for the auctions to run longer because we're marketing. So what we do is during that time frame when an auction is live, we market your auction. We're reaching out to the associations we're members of. We're sending out emails. We're doing Facebook marketing. We have all kinds of avenues to try to find buyers, and including making just good old phone calls. So, which are so much fun. I might add.
Those cold calls, yeah.
Woo! So we're trying to find buyers, and we can see the registered number of buyers for your auction, and we can see if what we're doing is working. We can see if it's not working. And then when the auction closes, we treat auctions a little different. So let's say your auction closes at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m., the cars will start ticking down in minutes. But every time someone bids on a vehicle, we'll add another 2 minutes. And the reason we do that is because we want them to fight it out.
Oh,
argue over
absolutely.
it. Argue
That's
over
right.
it.
Get
Let's
Get
drive
that number
that up.
That's right.
Now we have
Yeah.
a question from someone who is watching, and this is from Michelle at Acclaim Car and Truck, and she asks, "What about classic car parts?"
So I had a company in Florida that wanted to sell a bunch of classic car parts. That's this very specialized auction. So we kind of did it in its own auction away from vehicles and ran that differently in different advertising avenues. Some stuff she sold, some stuff she didn't sell. It just really depends on what you have, but it requires more prep work. So you got to take photos, you got to explain what those parts are, what they belong to, and then we have to do specialized advertising. So that particular auction ran for 3 weeks. So it ran longer because it took us time to try to find buyers. So yes,
Now,
the answer is we'll do it.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Now that brings up an interesting question though, and that is proof of ownership of those parts. Because a chop shop could sure take advantage of your service.
Well, we're not verifying that. If you got them, they belong to you.
And that's their problem if it was hot.
That's right.
Okay.
All righty.
All right.
We're
like
not
a Sopranos episode now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not the park police, so I'm checking.
Understand.
Yeah, there used to be a joke when I lived in New York, don't break down on the Belt Parkway, because by the time you got back to the car, there wasn't much of that car left.
Left,
Oh
exactly.
no.
Hood gone, trunk gone, doors gone, wheels gone, engine gone.
That's
Everything's gone.
wild.
Oh yeah.
Now I had one quick question, and because I had a client one time who had a shop. He's still there. He's still around. He has a shop now. He happens to have about an acre or more of land on the shop, and which is, it seems cool, except that it's the problem with that is there's places for him to put a lot of derelict automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a big issue because he had a lot of space. He had a field next to his shop, and he just started piling cars in there. And
He
over a
created
period,
wrecking yard.
he created a wrecking yard. Yeah, and I went to see his shop, and it's not good for general repair business to have a repair shop that has 40.
Yeah, you want to scare away your customers.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So if I'm not his consultant anymore, but if I was to call him today and go, hey man, how are those cars? And like, this is literally, I haven't talked to him for maybe 3 years. Yeah, they're all still there. Which one of you should I give his number to? Where's the first step? Is it Felicia that I should give? Or
I would start with me, and then
Okay.
if they don't have paperwork, that's when I send them back to Felicia. So
Okay.
I'll just turn them around. But
Okay.
sometimes, depending on the state, there's different levels of paperwork you need. And there are some states where it's just not required as well. If they have it and they can prove that it's been abandoned on their property, sometimes they don't necessarily need to do all of those steps. So it just kind of depends.
Right.
One thing I want to add about that, when you let the vehicles stockpile, I've seen so many reasons why, from waiting on scrap metal to go up to I don't know what to do with them. You just name it. It's not going up in value. I don't care if you're waiting on scrap metal prices, you're running the risk of people hopping that fence and cutting the cats, and then they're worth even less.
Right.
I see it all the time. And they think they have a gold mine, and they don't, because everything's rusted. The parts are no good anymore. So all of those bullets that would have typically purchased those vehicles will not, because those parts are no longer good. So people who sit on them, they're doing an injustice to their to their billfold.
Oh yeah. You know, we're educating shop owners all the time that their worst asset is inventory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just, it never goes up, it only goes down. Oh, by
That's
the way,
right.
Michelle from Acclaim says, thank you, Michelle, and she'll see you at the expo.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice name.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
very
nice.
nice name. Now here's probably not a real scenario because I just don't know. I work on big trucks. I work on Class 8s, tractor trailers. Is there ever a situation where they come onto your radar?
Me or Felicia?
Either one of you.
Yes, we sell we sell Class A. We've had a really good success with it. We've got a particular tow company in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that for whatever reason end up with a lot of Class A, and they'll run an auction every 6 months or so with 40 of them. So,
Wow.
Well, I've never seen a bigger collection of Class 8 trucks than in Nashville. Holy cow. That's Truck Central up there.
Yep.
Because this is a crossroads from all kinds of places.
I'm assuming that they're breaking down, heading from Atlanta, somewhere, and
Before they go north or south, or
and they're just ending up with them. It's wild.
That's wild. And so I suppose you also do motorcycles.
We do. Mopeds are a little different. So anything
Mopeds.
We still sell them, but if it's under 50 cc's, those typically are not titled, and you can just sell them. There's typically no documentation of the rightful owner.
Right.
Mopeds. Boy, I haven't thought about
and they're not
mopeds
really
in a long
worth
time.
very much. The bidding starts at $50.
Yeah.
Yay.
Moped. An old Pook moped. You know, I once worked at a Harley Davidson dealer in New England, and we sold Harley Davidsons and we sold Pook mopeds, both the extremes. So
Yeah,
I'd have,
exactly.
tough old bikers in the shop and mom and dad with their daughter at the same time looking at
Tough old bikers.
mopeds.
Would it
Very
surprise
nice.
you to know that I ride a Harley Fat Boy?
Do
Do
you?
you?
Yes,
Very
Good for
nice. You'll have to
you.
send us a photo of that.
I do.
I want to
Yeah,
see that. I want to see that photograph.
that's one of my
I
favorite Harleys, the Fat Boy.
it's 2017 with the 110 on it. She's bad.
Yeah, she's
Well,
bad.
my daughter lives in Oxnard, California, and she owns a Harley, but she has I bought her a really cool camera that she could place on the bike because she likes to do film. She likes to do YouTube videos while she's riding all over Southern
Oh,
California.
fun.
So it's
Cool.
she just told me what brand of camera to get, and I watched some of these videos. I go, this camera does this. And I don't know how the camera even works. It looks like it's on
Is it like a GoPro?
maybe, but it's just this. It's amazing because it goes in like 360 above you, like does all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm going. It's like, what is it?
Does it mount on her helmet?
I don't know where it mounts. I have no idea.
Because I can't just imagine mounting it on the bike and
It,
getting a clear image.
It's
There's-
amazing.
there's
It-
well, because of the vibration, the anti-vibration in them has gotten pretty good.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she just does a great job. She does these videos. She goes drive all over the place. And I, as a father, I'm just watching it, like biting my nails. Going, I hope watching to make sure she's not, I rode for years too, but I always get a little bit nervous when my daughter rides her Harley all over Los Angeles.
Then you would die with, I don't even wear a helmet.
You're in Florida.
There's no helmet laws in Florida.
No.
I love Florida.
Tank top, Converse.
Oh, Lord,
No
girl.
helmet.
And that's
I know.
because you've never been down.
Yeah,
I
you've never
haven't.
dropped your bike.
I
So
haven't.
knock on wood, don't ever go down because boy, asphalt is not forgiving.
I'll be in
No.
the burn unit.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah. After my accident, man, I'm full gear all the time.
Yep. I never dropped my bike, so I've never dropped it, but I still dress full on. I used to have a full face helmet and I wore all leather whenever I rode. Anyway, so you want to hear a little bit about next week's show?
Oh yeah, it's a time for our station
Yeah.
break, Tony.
I think it is. Next Friday, June 14th. Of course, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. As always, we're going to have Jim Saley, the Drive senior
Good old
speaker,
Jim.
workshop instructor, shop inspection manager, and he's going to talk all things Expo. So that'll be a fun show. And
Absolutely.
then, of course, the Expo starts on the 19th. We're almost there, man. We only got a couple more weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 more weeks, right?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
close. So it's
Coming on like a freight train.
yeah, we're so excited. Things are really ramping up around here. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
you'll be able
great.
to drive, Felicia.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be headed up there to meet Michelle on the 18th, and we will be going making the rounds, introducing ourselves to everyone, and we're very, very excited and happy to be a part of it.
And do you guys have a booth on the trade floor?
We do. So we are participating in the drive portion. So the Wednesday, Thursday. But then we each have booths, but not in the Rec Week tent, which is separate because we both have booths for the towing industry. So we're there. We're just not in the Rec Week area.
So they'll still be able to meet and greet and talk to you. And because I think both of your services are fantastic. I didn't even know they existed because that is a problem for shops because they don't know. It's not their area of expertise.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Michelle, we'll be sure to make the rounds, right? We'll let somebody man our tow booths, and we'll go over and make sure we get.
We'll be hanging out with y'all over at the Rec Week tent.
That'll be fun.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
So everybody who's on and listening, by all means, come see these people. Find out how they can help you with those cars that just go, what am I going to do with this thing? And recoup some of your lost income on that. I want to thank you so much for joining us, Michelle and Felicia. It's been very educational, very informative. And hopefully we'll all get to see you at the Expo. And from all of us at Drive Facebook Live, thank you for joining us today, whoever's on listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.